Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm in beautiful Amsterdam right now, as you can see, and it's very cold here actually. People are wearing winter coats. However, the allergy season is coming up, and I'm already hearing from a lot of people that they're having allergies, sneezing, coughing, getting congestion in the lungs. And of course, dealing with allergies has something to do with the immune system. So it's always too good to practice an immune flow. And of course, when we're practicing the art of Shin, we are boosting the immune system with whatever we do. So any flow is going to help, any hold is going to help. Just get your hands moving. And I chose a flow today that really helps to clear the lungs and really helping the lungs on physical level, because often we get lung congestion, stuffy nose, and all of that. So this flow is going to be very helpful. So let's jump right in, and we're going to place one hand on our lower back. Actually, let's place our hands on our lower back and see which one feels more comfortable for you. Maybe you feel some congestion and it feels good to hold your hand on SEL2. So leave your hand on that one. And I'm just going to show you exactly where SEL2 is. It's right here at the lower back. It's at the top, the crest of the hip right here. So you can place your fingertips in there, just like this, and then just gently hold it. And then with the other hand, you can place it on SEL24 and as on the opposite side. So SEL24 is located between the little toe and the ring toe, and then you slide up a little bit. So between the little and ring toe, and you may feel a tender spot in there, so you can fold your knees. I'm going to move back a little so you can see better. Right here. I'm at the same time placing my thumb on the sole of the foot. So I'm holding two locations at the same time. I'm holding 24 with my fingertips and then 6 with my thumb, and that actually feels really, really good. Now, if it's hard for you to reach this, you can hold SEL15, which is located on the top of the thigh. But it's always good, if you can, to stay with the flows as they were given to us by Master Jeremiah. And so take a few breaths here. 24 is a wonderful location. It's also called the peacemaker, and it helps to harmonize chaos. Any kind of chaos. Can be chaos of mind, can be chaos in your life, can be a chaotic day, or feelings of chaos, like jealousy can feel very chaotic, and holding the 24 will calm that. If you can listen to your own pulses in your wrist and you don't know what's going on and you feel everything, then 24 is a wonderful hold. And SEL2 at the lower back helps for our innate wisdom to really shine through. And we all come into the world with an innate wisdom, the all-knowing. So it's not what we learn or what we can read in book, but it's really our innate knowing, and holding the SEL2 will help to harmonize that. So that's on a spiritual level, and on a physical level, of course, it will help the lower back and the hips and the energy into the legs. This little flow really helps our lungs, as I said before, as well as our large intestine. It helps the second cycle of energy called depth 2. And in the art of Shin, we talk about different cycles of energy from skin surface to core. So it cycles through the body deeper and deeper to the core of our body. So this second cycle also helps the deep skin. Depth 2, the function is deep skin. And so great for if you have any kind of skin project. Can also be acne, because that can be a deeper skin project. So let's take one more round of breaths here. When I say a round of breath, I mean an exhale and an inhale, one cycle of breath. And with each breath we renew. So every breath we have this opportunity to completely renew. So one more breath here. And you may feel that this location on your foot is softer now and maybe not as tender. That means it opened up. And that's a good thing. We want all the locations to open up so that the energy can move freely in the body. Very nice. And then let's take our hand from the foot and we're going to place it on the opposite 14. SEL 14 is the base of the ribs here. So you are now holding it on the same side where your hand on the hip is placed. And SEL 14 helps to clear the waistline, helping to calm our mind. And if you have lung congestion, it will allow for the energy to descend. If you have lung congestion, the lungs are located right here. It means that the energy is stuck above the waist. But we need to create an escape route for it to move. Because if we just work on this, it's going to still be up here and we need to send the energy down. So by holding the 14, you will allow for that waistline to open and the energy to move down from the chest line down all the way through the waistline and the hip line down to the feet, where we can inhale up the back again. So we have this cycle of exhaling down the front and inhaling up the back. Exhaling, letting go, and inhaling, receiving. And this little flow is also really wonderful if you've had COVID and you still have some leftover symptoms. Then this flow can be very dynamic for that. And you may feel that your hands are getting warm. And again, that's the energy moving, because we know that we tap into depth 7 when we place our hands, which is pure universal energy. It's the light, and that's the energy that we use when we place our hands on our bodies. We're tapping into universal energy. And that is why it is so effective. So there's nothing really we have to do or try hard or work hard. We just sit there and allow for the movement of energy, which we feel by the pulsation that comes up from the location into your fingertips. We feel how the energy is moving. So at first you may feel a louder pulse or no pulse at all. And then when you hold it for a few minutes, you will feel it come in. And the more you practice, of course, the more awareness it will bring to you, and for you to get to know your own body exactly and what's going on. So now we're going to take our hand from the 14 and we're going to move it to the opposite one. SEL high one is located at the upper side. And so we see that in this flow we're also really bringing in this mediator aspect, moving from right to left and left to right. And that's very important, that the right and left sides are in balance. And so when we practice this flow, it's already calculated in there that we're harmonizing from right to left and left to right. SEL high 1 also helps our digestive system. The meaning of 1, high 1, is the prime mover, and all these locations have a spiritual and practical meaning. And high 1 helps us digestively to move forward, physically and spiritually. So if you feel like on a day you have a hard time getting up in the morning, getting your day started, hold your wands and it will help you to get out of bed and get your day started. So this is how we can use the art of Shin. Let's take one more breath here. Make sure you're dropping the shoulders so that we're nice and relaxed. That's very important when we're practicing the art of Shin, because it's a very subtle form of energy medicine. And so we really need to listen and be quiet. And it's like a moving meditation when we are listening to the energy movement, there's no other thoughts that can come in. We're just listening to this energy, which is very meditative. And then we're going to take our hands and place it on the 13. 13, clearing the chest line, and so helping the lungs. And this is the end of this little flow, so it's really 4 simple steps. We'll just practice the other side briefly. We're going to place one hand on the lower back and the other hand on the opposite 24. So I'm holding my left lower back and the right 24. And if this is hard for you to reach, I can hold the 15, the upper side. Always tailor it to what's comfortable for you. However, if you can reach it, then I really invite you to stay with the way the flows were given to us by Master Jim Rai. And then we're going to move our hand from the 24 to the opposite 14. So we're holding 2 and same side 14. And we can practice one side, which is fine, or you can practice both. Again, see what feels good to you. Some days you may want to do both sides, and other days you may want to do just one side, also depending on how much time you have. And then let's go to the opposite one. So from the 14, we're going to the opposite high 1, bringing the energy down below the waist. And if you have congestion in the lungs, we want to bring the energy down. Very nice. And then to the same side, 13, clearing the chest line. And if you're holding the 13, you may feel some tightness in one of them, either the right or the left. Practiced this earlier, and so I felt a little congestion before, but now that has cleared. And when you feel these congestions clearing, it's wonderful, because that's how quickly our body changes. That's how quickly we can change projects. That is exactly the fun and the wonderful thing about the art of Jin Shin, how quickly we can change symptoms. And it works on a causal level at the same time. So we're helping the symptoms, but we're also helping on a deeper level. So that finishes this little second depth flow, really helping on a physical level. And then if you have allergies and you have congestion in the nasal passages and in your lungs, it always comes from SEL 9s and 10s here, from the shoulders. 10 and 9. And for the self-help, we can hold the high 19s to help harmonize SEL 10. So just hold these for a few moments with me. I like to place my fingertips on the back. The lung function energy comes out here for a moment and then goes back to the front. So if you wrap your fingers around, you're helping all these pathways. And then just see if there's any tightness for you, if it's more on the right side or on the left side, clearing the chest line. And I sometimes get allergies and sneezing attacks, and then when I hold my high 19s, it will just stop. So this is a wonderful tool for seasonal allergies. And then let's move our hands to the 19s, clearing the waistline and helping the 9s. So lung projects often come from the 9s and 10s. So again, exploring your own body and feeling where you're needed. Is it the right side or the left side? Do you need more on the waistline or on the chest line? And it may vary from day to day too. When you're holding your 19s again, make sure you're dropping the shoulders so that you can breathe. And the 19s help to really empower ourselves. They're the directors. And so that is just a very empowering hold. And you can do this anytime during the day, when you're sitting around, when you're standing around, clearing the lungs and clearing any seasonal allergies. The 19s can also help with tearing in the eyes due to allergies. So really play around with it, see what works for you. And if you like the video, then please pass it along to a loved one, like the video. And thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you soon.